what's going on, guys? It's Gathalion, and welcome back to Firefall for Dummies. In this series, we like to cover the basics and not so basics of this looter shooter MMORPG for all you folks out there that might not be accustomed to how MMORPGs work, because as we know, they can be a little daunting to those of us who don't have a lot of experience with inside the massively multiplayer online RPG world. And while this does have the fun, fast-paced action of a first and third-person shooter, it also has the deep and sometimes complex systems that you find in MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, and even some of the stuff you might find in Final Fantasy XI, which is, as we all know, the fucking least hand-holdy MMORPG of ever. Anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at research and crafting. We're going to start off with the very most important part of that, and that is research. Without research, you're not going to be able to do any crafting, and without crafting, well, you can find loot drops, but crafting, I believe, is really going to open doors for you that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get if you're just relying on loot drops in this game, because while loot drops can be amazing from raids and dungeons, you aren't always guaranteed to find stuff, and if you happen to have a recipe, or if you're training up your recipes, you will at least be able to fall back on the fact that you'll be able to craft yourself some gears at different tiers. So we're going to start off with researching, and researching requires research points. You need to find yourself a molecular printer to do any sort of research and crafting, and we're going to start off with research. When you go into the research tab, you're going to be hit with many menus. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it intimidate you. This is quite simple as long as you're looking at it in a defined way. When you come in, you're gonna have 4 different slots you're gonna be able to start off with. General knowledge is gonna let you do stuff like health kits and thumpers. Battle frame production is where you go in to make cores and modules for both your weapons and your abilities, because your weapons and abilities all have module slots to modify them. We're gonna go through that in another video, but today we're talking about crafting. So let's just say, for the sake of it, let's choose something that I have not done any research on yet. Up in the top right-hand corner, you can see how many research points I have. I have 20,000 research points, and we're gonna pick a tree that I'm working down and maybe want to get the next tier of item on. Let's take a look at the thermal cannons, which is the primary weapon of the Firecat frame. When you're picking out equipment that you want to research, make sure it's the equipment that you use on your primary frame, or maybe it's something you want to learn for a frame that you're getting ready to level up, because if you could craft gear for a frame that you're getting ready to level up, then you'll have an easier time through your leveling process. The way that I see this game is, once you get one frame to level 40, you can enable yourself to have a much easier time on all of your frames following that frame. So while you're leveling up your first frame, it's gonna seem kind of irrelevant that you're going down this tree and you have to spend so much research points in order to research the ability to make these weapons. But the way you want to look at it is, you want to plan for the future when you're researching for your primary frame. So I'm kind of working my way towards this level 40 tier of weaponry, but also you want to start planning for your next frame up. My next frame up happens to be the Raptor frame, so I've started training on weapons for him. I like to use the R36 assault rifle on my my Raptor, but you might like to use charge rifles, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start a research. Let's just go ahead and research the next tier of thermal cannons. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna plop down, it says it takes 2,300 crystite, which I have, and it takes 7,700 research points, which I have. So I'm gonna go ahead and research this. The way it works is you must get the top tier of every part of this research tree. You have to get that, and that gives you the white variant, the common variant that you could be able to craft. And the commons aren't very good because they're white rarity. This uses a very similar rarity system to like World of Warcraft or Borderlands or what have you. But once you get that top tree, you can work down into the deeper portions of it. So let's say right now I'm researching level 30 thermal cannons. As I work down, I can research level 31, which is green, level 32, and then level 33, which is gonna be the epics. Or I could go ahead after this is finished, researching in 21 minutes, or you could spend 1 red bean, but honestly, 21 minutes is not a long time for research to go on. You could go off and do like 1 quest. By the time you're done, you will have your research done. So while that's researching, let's also maybe research some abilities for my Firecat, because I'm trying to get down to the end of this Firecat tree, and I am pretty much there. But my current abilities feel like they're lacking a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and research the uncommon rarity of this tree. I've already got the 24, so I'm gonna go ahead and research this, and hopefully I'll have the research points necessary to get the level 26 when it comes to that. So as you can see, we are now pretty much out of research points. We've spent our research points. So how exactly do you get more research points? Well, you're gonna wanna go to your inventory, you press I on your keyboard, and go over here, and down at the bottom, there's a tab that says Salvage. Now you can either right click and manually salvage weapons to get research points, or you can mass salvage everything you don't need. So we're gonna hit that. I don't like charge rifles. I'm probably not gonna use this anytime soon. I have, it looks like duplicates of the Necro R36, so I'm gonna salvage that. And then these I'm gonna salvage, and these things. And then you wanna go through your abilities, because you pick up a lot of loot as you're going along, guys. So you're gonna wanna go through your abilities and figure out which abilities you're actually probably gonna use along the lines. I tend to salvage the abilities for frames that I don't intend to level up anytime soon, because you'll likely, especially the lower tier stuff, because you're gonna find more of that as you go along. You're gonna wanna look through all of your inventory and see if there's anything at all you could get rid of. These white modules, I'm not a huge fan of, but I am gonna hold on to these in case I just need. The low level stuff I'll get rid of, but in case I need these level 21s just to use at any given point. Also, down on the bottom, there is stuff specifically for salvaging. These actually give pretty much the largest payout that I see in this game. This is stuff you pick up, random loot drops throughout the world. If you've done a lot of instancing and questing, always check your salvage menu to see if you have anything to salvage. So, I have all these things that I am ready to salvage. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and click yeah, and we're gonna confirm it, and it's gonna do the salvage process. And the payout for that was 26,000 salvage points, or research points, which is awesome. Also, we got a handful of crystite, we got some copper wiring, some chitin fibers, and some semiconductors. These are all things that get used in crafting, which we're gonna go over right now. So now that we've done that, that's how you get your research points, and that's how you can set things to research, because now you can see up at the top, I have 30,000 research points. I am really close to being able to get that 26, level 26 uncommon rarity for my abilities, which I'm probably gonna get after I make this video. Yay. Okay, so we're gonna talk about crafting. Crafting requires a number of things. You're gonna need to have ore. You get ore from thumping. I did a video on thumping. Check it out on my channel. I'm gonna have it inside of this playlist. But once you get ore, you're gonna go into here and you're gonna wanna refine it. I have, it looks like, what, 855 pieces of iron. That is going to yield 171 iron bars, and it might also give us some iron plating. It's going to give us some crystite, so we're going to go ahead and set that to refine. Now, that is how you refine things. I'll look in the refine menu again. I have a lot of different things I can refine, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to show you how to craft something. So let's just assume that I've already done all of my refining, so we're going to start a new job. Things like refining and research take the most time. I've found that actually manufacturing weapons does not take all that much time at all. Let's manufacture battle frame equipment, assault, Firecat, and we'll look at thermal cannons. let's go ahead and craft this level 26 thermal cannon. It's not better than mine, but I will be able to salvage it for more salvage points, which is great. And you're also, or not salvage points, research points. And whenever you craft something, you also get research points. Notice the time for building this is 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Not that bad. Now, there is a lot that goes into getting ready to craft weapons, so it could be argued that the overall craft time for something is pretty large, but while you are collecting research points, while you are collecting ore, you're also getting pieces for other gear, you're also getting experience, you're also getting crystite, so while you are going out and mining and thumping, you're getting tons of experience, you're getting tons of salvage stuff, so it can also be argued that while you're doing anything in this game, you're also helping yourself do something else. So guys, this has been an in-depth look on how to research, where to get research points, and how to craft weaponry. How to craft weaponry, because you could craft weapons, you could craft modules, you could craft abilities. You could craft pretty much any little piece you could equip in this game, you can craft. But on top of that, you can also find it through loot drops. So if crafting isn't for you, if you want to just totally trust in RNG, then you can do that. But if you're one of those people that likes to dig into the crafting systems, this game has one of the best crafting systems that I've noticed in an MMORPG. Lots of fun, because it's not mindless mining. While you're going out getting resources, you're killing a lot of shit, and it feels good. It feels like you're playing an action game and not just playing Mine Simulator, or I'm going out with my pickaxe and finding ore deposits. It's not like that. That is why, another reason why, I really love Firefall. So guys, please leave any comments in the comment section below if you have any more tips and tricks on research and on crafting for anybody else in this game. Also, keep in mind that some recipes in this game require you to hit a certain tier inside of your research. So let's say that you buy or find a level 10 blue quality pattern. You need to at least have patterns up to level 10 trained. Keep that in mind when you find these patterns. So that's the one thing that I want to cover before I leave. Anyways, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the video if you found this guide to be any sort of helpful. And I will see you guys back in Firefall for Dummies.